Okay with that? Okay, fantastic. Okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to today's virtual presentation introducing Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Sebesta, Area VP of Luxury Partnership based in Texas, and I am your connector with Reimagine. And I'm also the one that was sending you all of those lovely emails. We are so excited to have you all attend today's presentation of the Reimagine Collection's newest hotel opening, Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira in Mozambique, Africa. Reimagine is honored to represent not just Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira, but 5 other Banyan Tree resorts globally. In addition to representing the Banyan Tree resorts, Reimagine also has over 20 additional 4- and 5-star luxury independent properties in our collection to connect you and your clients both domestically and internationally. And we are so thrilled to tell you we are continuing to grow. As some of you know, Reimagine is a fairly new company, almost 2 years old, and our purpose is to serve as the extension of the hotel sales team. We are here to support you in any way that you need, whether it's in the educational or booking process, to make sure that your clients have an unforgettable experience. So we thank you so much for your time today to learn more about the beautiful Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira Resort. But before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. Please make sure to keep your mic muted during the presentation. And we will also have time at the end of the presentation for questions and answers. And you may ask those questions at any time during the presentation in the chat box. And we will also have a special giveaway announcement at the end. Now, without further ado, I'm so honored to introduce to you your Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira executive team, General Manager, Mr. Eduardo Johnson da Silva, and Director of Sales, Ms. Tracy Bolton. Eduardo, Tracy, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Jessica, and hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. For us, it's an absolute pleasure to be able to showcase our property. So, as Jessica said, my name is Eduardo Johnson da Silva, and I'm the GM of Banyan Tree, Mozambique. I took on this challenge because I do believe it is something that has never been done before, as I was telling Kim earlier on. You see, being Portuguese, and I am Portuguese, I really do believe that the Portuguese people have this need deeply rooted in their DNA to explore the unknown. And this is probably the reason why Portugal many years ago was a nation of seafaring explorers that discovered new worlds around the globe throughout the ages. And Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira is precisely that, a new world to be discovered, very much like Vasco da Gama found the way to India by sea by sailing around the Horn of Africa. And in fact, straight past the 2 islands that we are now going to be opening under the Banyan Tree brand. So I do believe that we will be the first to offer such an experience off the African coast. And I am extremely proud that the destination chosen is in fact Mozambique, because you don't know this, but I was born in Mozambique. So after so many years, I'm finally going home. Tracy?
Hello, everybody. Before we carry on, I'm Tracy, as Jessica introduced, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing. I have actually been living overseas for the last 3 years in Lebanon, and like Eduardo, I felt it was the right time to come back to my African roots and give back with the international experience that I had gained abroad. And I moved back to South Africa just to actually not do anything. And I was approached on LinkedIn about this private luxury island opening up in Mozambique. And when I found out it was part of the Banyan Tree group, it really appealed to me immediately. And I jumped at the opportunity to be the pioneers of opening up the first of its kind, which is a truly ultra luxury private island in Mozambique, is something that I just could not pass. So before we carry on, I'm sure a lot of you know about Africa and South Africa. I thought I'd just explain a little bit about where Ilha Caldeira is and a little bit about Mozambique, so you had a really good understanding. So Mozambique is a country that is located in the southern part of Africa. And to the south of Mozambique is South Africa, which if you are doing bookings to Africa, I'm sure you're very familiar with. To the west of Mozambique, you will find Zimbabwe and Zambia. And to the north, you will find Tanzania and Kenya. All of these countries that I've mentioned, obviously, are very rich in doing safaris, very big five safari kind of thing. So usually when you would be doing or sending your clients to Africa, whether it be South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, or Zimbabwe, you would obviously incorporate a safari with it. Now what you can do is not just do an African safari to see the big five, but now you can send them to Ilha Caldeira and do a marine safari as well. And it's very easy to get there. Basically, we would have flights coming in from Kenya and from OR Tambo, which is in Johannesburg, South Africa. So we have negotiated with our preferred partner, SA Airlink, who have got 2 flights a week at this stage, flying from Johannesburg to Nampula. And from Nampula, we would then get our clients over to Ilha Caldeira. On to you. Eduardo, you are on mute.
So imagine this, you are Robinson Crusoe and you have your very own Friday, i.e. butler. You are one of the few select people who have the opportunity to be on a private island with everybody catering for your needs. This destination, however, has a very profound sense of place where guests will be able to immerse themselves into the local culture and have a true soul-searching experience, as you will see later in the presentation. And it all begins when you're flying over the island. As you can see from the image on your screen, the architecture looks exactly like a typical African village in Mozambique, and that's what makes it so unique. Slide, please, Tracy. So, touching on the architecture and the sense of place, you can see the sense of place is present everywhere in the various experiences we will offer your guests. A few examples of this are all of the furniture that you see is made locally by local artisans, all of it. Another example is our 1-bedroom villas are named after the 32 key biodiversity areas in Mozambique, so KBAs. These are all protected areas, so we've adopted these names and called our 1-bedroom villas after each one of these KBAs. We will also have a small story to tell the guests that we'll print out and explain to them why the villa is called what it's called. There are 2- and 4-bedroom villas that we have are named after the predominant flora on the island. And yeah, we will do an arrangement of the flora that we've called the villa and also explain to the guests why the villa is called that specific name. We will also tell stories of the local artisans whose workmanship helped build the property. And in fact, the property has been built by a workforce which is 100% Mozambican. And we will also obviously tell stories about the local fishermen who catch the fish and the seafood that we will be serving the guests, as I'll explain later when we do the catering side of it. Tracy, slide. We have an arrival jetty with its own lounge. Guests will obviously get greeted by their butler and the members of the management team. Once again, to be noted, all the structures on the island are made of wood and all of the wood in Mozambique is produced in a sustainable way. So once again, we're giving back to the community. The beams, the cladding, the decking, everything is made of wood, produced at a carpentry works owned by the investor of these two islands. And the person obviously behind the projects, where all the artisans, once again, were employed by Mozambican nationals. Slide. So even though every villa has its own swimming pool, we also have an infinity pool that faces southwest towards what I would call the most amazing sunsets off the African coast that I've ever seen. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm from Mozambique, but I still think they are the nicest sunsets I've ever seen. Once again, the gazebos, the pool lounges, everything is made locally from wood, and it's made by Mozambican nationals. One of the banyan tree pillars is, in fact, giving back to the community. And this is a perfect example of exactly that. The main pool is serviced by our main bar, which is at the end of the pool on the left, just off shot, which I'll explain to you later. Tracy?
So as Eduardo mentioned, the word villa host. What is a villa host? Well, let's be honest, it's a full butler service that you would receive on the island. So each villa will have its own villa host or butler to attend to your personal needs for the perfect offering to give you a tentative and discreet service. The reason why we are offering full butler service is to give one a true luxury sense of place, whether you can treat yourself to a truly relaxing vacation, also to provide you with service which is discreet, personalized, anticipatory to your needs, and picking up on your subtle details tailored to gesture and providing you with genuine warmth, saving you time and forgetting your worries. So you can be spoiled while you're on the island. Right, we have all villa pools. So the island has got 40 villas. All of them have got private pools, and all of these face the sea. What I'd like to mention to you is the island is built from sandstone, not from coral stone. So the island has got sand 360 degrees around it, and it's that nice fine sand. So it doesn't matter where your villa is located. You just walk off your pool into the beach, into the sea, depending what you want. We have various types of villas suited to what the needs of our guests. We have a one-bedroom villa, and we've got two types of one-bedroom villas. We've got the Harmony Villa and the Serenity Villa. Now, the difference between the two is simply that the Serenity Villa is slightly larger in that it has a lounge in it. However, the decor between the two, and in fact, in all the villas that are offered, are of all the exact same type. We also have two-bedroom villas that can then seat 2 people. And then we also have what we call our 4-bedroom villas. All of our villas, whether it be a 1-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom, or 4-bedroom, each have their own bathrooms. And these bathrooms each have a shower and a bath attached to it. There's an example, another one of our 4-bedroom ones. Eduardo, on to you.
So what do we have in terms of culinary experiences? And this is where it gets exciting, because Banyan Tree is launching a brand new concept for Ilha Caldeira, which is basically regionally sourced, locally curated. Now, this is a big sentence. It's quite confusing, but I'll explain exactly what this means. Regionally sourced, locally curated. This means that 70% of the menu is locally sourced, with a direct relationship to the farm / supplier / fishery, winery, etc. We also will be offering boutique providers so that the guest would not be able to encounter that specific dish if it wasn't on the island itself. And thirdly, a sense of elevated but beautiful basics, if I may put it that way, where the ingredient itself is the star of the show. So very much based on sense of place. Now, our culinary experiences will include 2 restaurants, 2 bars, a wine cellar and private dining area, in-room dining, destination dining, and bespoke experiences. I will run briefly through each of them for you. Slide, Tracy. So the main bar is the bar that services the pool that I explained earlier when I showed you the shot of the infinity pool. It seats 30 people, 30. And what are we going to give guests in terms of experience? Something that you find very rarely. And I've done this before at other properties I've worked on. It's been a huge success, which is we're going to pair hors d'oeuvres and canapes with the drinks served. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you ask for a gin and tonic. We will serve a piece of tuna sushi wrapped in a thinly sliced cucumber, just a little tidbit to go with your drink. Let's say you're having, I don't know, a smoky old fashioned or something of that sort. We will serve perhaps a little piece of smoked salmon on a Melba toast with some salmon roe on top and a creme fraiche. And this gives the guest a whole different myriad of experiences. And he'll probably have a second drink. He'll certainly go back the following, either in the evening or the following day for another drink. And this, I feel, is something that hospitality has lost. This used to be like this back in the 50s and the 60s, and it's no longer like this. We're going to do this because it costs absolutely nothing, and I think it's a wonderful touch. And just a little story on what I remember when I was young in Mozambique. I left Mozambique when I was 11 years old, and I remember they always used to serve something with a drink. Even a beer used to have like 3 or 2 little shrimps, just for people to snack while they were having their drink. And so we're going to bring this Mozambique experience from yesteryear onto the island. Slide. The wine cellar. Unfortunately, the image of the wine cellar is not very good. It's got a door, which doesn't really do much for the wine cellar. But the wine cellar, the walls inside the wine cellar are all made of face brick, which are handmade in Africa at the closest village we have to us on the coast, called Larde. And this is made by a family who actually fires these clay tiles, if you want to call them that, or bricks, in a wood-burning oven. And they've done this for the past 5 generations. So once again, giving back to the community. We will sit up to 12 people in the wine cellar for an intimate dining experience. In terms of experience, obviously we'll have the wines from the traditional places that produce good wine, South Africa, France, Italy, Portugal, US, and so forth. But what we are going to be doing is something, once again, different. With Mozambique having such a strong Portugal heritage, I've decided to incorporate something which is, why not give the guest the opportunity to have a port wine from the year he was born. So let's say the guest was born in 1975. We will have a port from 1975, so he can have a port from the year he was born. Slide, please. So starting with the all-day dining, it will seat 64 people. We will have indoor dining, courtyard dining, we have pod dining. So there are various different areas where we will be able to offer different experiences to the guests. We'll be offering a full a la carte breakfast. We will not be doing buffet. It'll be full a la carte, lunch menu, dinner menu, and snack menu. Now, going back to your regionally sourced, locally curated, we'll be introducing native heritage tastes. So what are these? We will be using lesser known recipes from the destination, from Mozambique, offering the guest a sense of surprise and discovery whenever he asks for something off the menu. Secondly, we will also be focusing on extraordinary ingredients that you only find in Mozambique, and have their own cultural stories to tell the guests when you're explaining the dish, so that, and their provenance, so that, you know, the guest once again has this total surprise and total sense of discovery when he's having anything that he asks off the menu. Slide. The second restaurant is a fish and seafood restaurant, and this one already has a name, and it's called Mushu. It will be called Mushu, M-U-S-H-U, and this means mangrove tree in the local Swahili-based language. And why did we call this restaurant Mushu? The owner behind the project is called Jack Trotter. He's a South African businessman who bought these two islands, and he's developing them. And 20 years back, he was backpacking through Mozambique, and he came to the coast, and he saw this island off the coast, and he managed to convince one of the local fishermen to take him over to the island. And he sat beneath this mangrove tree, and he said to himself, one day I'll build an ultra-luxury resort on this island. So we thought this was such a tremendous story that we've incorporated this tree, and that's become very much the central point of the restaurant. So the restaurant is built around this mangrove tree. That's why it's called Mushu. The restaurant has a 270-degree view, so it's right on the point of the east of the island. It seats 60 people. The bar and lounge area seats 40 people, and we'll obviously also be pairing the drinks with the canapes and hors d'oeuvres like we do at the other bar. We will be specializing in fish and seafood, but here's the thing, only fish and seafood caught off the island by local fishermen. So Mr. Joe Block is on the island, the guest. Day one, he goes to the restaurant. Day two, he goes to the same restaurant, and he'll find a different menu. Why? Because the first day, the predominant fish was tuna and sea bass and sea bream. The second day, it was sole and swordfish and something else. So the menu will change according to the fish and seafood that we were able to get on that particular day. Now, Mozambique cuisine has various influences. It's got enormous influences from many parts of the world. Obviously from East Africa, ranging from Kenya, Zimbabwe, even South Africa, there are influences. But we also have influences from Goa. So there's a lot of Indian cuisine in Mozambique. We also have a big, obviously, influence from Portugal. So we're going to be incorporating all these influences into the cuisine and offering the guests a totally unique experience. However, no matter what we do in terms of dish, it will always have a Mozambique touch or flavor or spice or something that makes it uniquely Mozambique. Slide, Tracy, please. And just to finalize on the destination dining, we really want to tap into various multi-sensorial experiences. I spoke about the sensory aspect of what we're doing. I think it's fundamentally important. That's, I think, what people look for. And what are these multi-sensorial experiences? Sorry. So, madam, bring us your fish, or the fish that you caught today while you were fishing, and our chef will prepare it for you in the Mozambican, with the Mozambican recipe, in the Mozambican way. We'll do outdoor dining in nature. We'll have theatrical setups to intimate ones. We can do African nights, but obviously not going overboard with the African theme, but doing something very culturally rich that people can really appreciate and relate to. I've done this before at other resorts that I've been at. We'll have our own lobster traps, and people can go diving for lobster and pick their own lobster, which they'll have for dinner later. It's that type of experience that we will be offering. We'll have community dinners, but always with a very strong notion of cultural hospitality. We always have to incorporate culture-specific rituals, languages, art, traditions, so that the whole experience becomes so much more than just a dinner. Tracy, over to you.
Well, okay, your well-being journey begins at my favorite place on the island, and that would be at the Banyan Tree Spa. Our spa is a place for physical, mental, and spiritual renewal. In line with Banyan Tree's philosophies, it's going to be a place for the sanctuary for the senses for our guests. Our spa will focus on non-clinical and a holistic approach based on Asian healing therapies, which basically emphasizes on high touch, low tech approach. Besides the treatment rooms, we will have a hydrotherapy room, a fitness and wellness center, yoga pavilion, and of course a beauty salon. What's really interesting to know is each Banyan Tree therapist undergoes 350 hours of training at the Banyan Tree Spa Academy in Phuket. So I think you're going to be in safe hands for those massages. What is well-being, which is very synonymous, I think, with Banyan Tree, and especially everybody that has been booking Banyan Tree properties around the world. Well, for us, well-being is a state of feeling healthy and happy. Okay, and at Banyan Tree, we believe that everyone aspires and deserves to live a life where they are balanced and have happiness and good practices. So Banyan Tree believes in 8 pillars in which their body or a person needs to be aligned with in order to be in a state of feeling healthy and happy. These 8 pillars are sleep and rest, dietary awareness, bonding and connection, physical vitality, cultivating the mind, learning and development, harmony with nature, sustained practices. All of these need to be aligned in oneself and with nature in order to have a state of well-being. And well-being is quite a broad, thing. It doesn't mean in terms of just being healthy and in fitness. It could be, for example, somebody having a cigar that they've longed for many years. It's a state of them feeling healthy and happy by having that. So in all of what we're doing on the island, not just in the spa practices, it's all about well-being and coming out and being or doing these practices, not only on the island, but sustainability, being able to sustain yourself doing it back at home in the environment when you're away. Oh, this is my favorite. Everything's my favorite on the island. Destination weddings. Bespoke, created, curated, intimate. You create your love story. It doesn't need to just be a wedding. It could be a proposal. It could be a honeymoon. It could be just going away with your loved ones and wanting to go on some romantic area for a dinner. If you think it, you dream it, we will curate it just especially for you. Well, what else is there to do on the island besides the spa and eating, as Eduardo has highlighted? As mentioned, we are on a reef, a sandstone reef, and in 2000, when the coral globally was bleached, luckily for us, we were on a continental shelf. So our temperature was slightly cooler than most of resorts and islands that are on coral reefs. So if you have to put your head underwater, it's just a rainbow full of coral. So this is a scuba diver as well as a snorkeler dream destination. Now, even if you do not have a certificate or you're not certified in being a scuba diver, you can do this on the island. We will have a master diver who will be able to train you, and you will leave the island qualified. And you can do your scuba diving course in paradise, basically. So definitely scuba diving is hot on the list of the most important activities to do. But we can also do things that don't involve going underwater if you don't like wetting your hair too much. You can do kayaking, sailing, stand-up paddling. There's a shipwreck dive there as well, which I need to mention to you. The historical Dutch MS Brastagi, which sank in 1947, and nobody died there, don't worry, because they all made it to the island. It was a merchant freighter that shipwreck is still right there just off the coral reef. And as you can see in the picture, it is very much intact. Now, you don't have to be a scuba diver to do this. You can just snorkel it and just swim out to it if you would like to. So, you know, it's really a spectacular feature for us. But besides the water activities and the deep sea fishing, which I haven't mentioned, you can do stargazing. You can also do master chef classes in your private villa. You can ask the chef to come and teach you some Mozambican cuisine that you might have had the night before and you'd like to understand how he made that dish. He can come give you a professional masterclass on that or anything else that you would like to learn. Maybe some Mozambican flavored kind of food that you would like be interested in learning how to take home with you. So there's lots of other things also to do. Daily yoga classes on the yoga pavilion would also be there. And we also have a kids club, which I'll allow Eduardo to go into more detail with you. What I'd also like to just talk about is from a conservation perspective, and I'm touching on it as an activity, but Eduardo will go into detail, is we are home to the hawksbill, the greenbill, turtles. So every day on the island, you can see at least 30 of them floating around the island, if not walking on the beach. So as part of our conservation, they come and they lay their eggs on the island. And one of the activities would be, for example, when the turtles hatch, is to ensure that the turtles get back into the water safely, because turtles are an endangered species in Mozambique, and I know globally as well. We also have the dugong. I'm not sure if you know what a dugong is, but they are known as the cows of the sea, and they are found around our island as well. So you can go dugong watching, whether it be underwater or whether they're also nesting on land. So you don't have to just see the island as being a typical water-based activity island. There will definitely be things that to do on land. Now over to you, Eduardo.
So, Marine Conservation Center and the Scuba Diving Center. Tracy touched on it. Now, sustainability is one of Banyan Tree's brand pillars. And obviously, we take it extremely seriously. We don't just talk about sustainability. We have a full-time conservationist employed who is working on implementing the Banyan Tree Conservation Management Standards, which we use at every single banyan tree property worldwide. We are also charting the coral reefs and the subaquatic fauna. And why? Because we want divers to indulge in an underwater safari. They probably have just come from a land-based safari, looking at the big five, and all of a sudden we treat them to an underwater safari where they can learn about all the various types of fauna, all the various types of flora underwater. The idea for us is to have, and we will have, an official either PADI or SSI, which are the two better known dive school names worldwide, on site, but we are still negotiating, so I cannot give you the name of which one of the two it will be, but it will definitely be one of the two. Slide, please, Tracy. So this is the second last slide, if I'm not mistaken. Kids Club. Basically, we will have a kids club where we'll have a sand pit, a kids pool, the usual things you find in a kids club. But we'll also have a gaming room with PlayStation 5, Xbox X, and all these things, so we can cater for all ages. But what I think it's important to mention is there will be permanent supervision at the kids club. So essentially, parents will be able to go diving or do any activity off the island, knowing that their children are not only in total safety, but they're also enjoying their vacation time on the island as well. Slide, please, Tracy. And finally, the environment. Once again, everybody talks about the environment, but I'd just like to point out a few details that I think are extremely important. First of all, we are 100% solar powered. Now, I don't know if there are many islands that can say that at this point in time. We also desalinate all of our drinking water and even have our own bottling plant where we bottle the water for the guests and for our consumption, both still and sparkling. We have a water sewage treatment plant which converts sewage water into irrigation water. All of our waste disposal, even though we're talking Mozambique and we're talking about a remote island, we will dispose of all our waste in a controlled manner. So for this, we have digesters. What are digesters? They produce compost or fertilizer from organic waste. So we have digesters. We will produce the fertilizer and then we hand the fertilizer back to the community for them to fertilize their crops. Once again, giving back to the community. Even though we're on an island, once again, we've got aluminum and we have glass, which we have to dispose of. How will we do this? We will have daily trucks going from Nampula, which is the closest city to us, who will be bringing us all of our food, all of our necessities. And when they go back, they'll take the glass and aluminum with them so that it gets recycled in Nampula through a certified company. We will also have a situation where all of the plastic will get disposed of in an incinerator, which we will have just on the hub that gives us the logistical support for both islands. So all of our waste will be completely taken care of and disposed of in a controlled manner. Slide, please, Tracy. So all that is left for me to say is, Tracy, go on.
I was just going to say, so if you had to ask us what kind of clients should be going to Ilha Caldeira, I mean, it's quite easy, actually. It would be for couples, it would be for families, it would be for solitary travel. It would be for anybody looking to go for a private island experience. And when I say private island, a private island where there's no other resort and no other resort that has been there before. Nobody has inhabited this island before. It would be for people that are looking for sensorial experiences, a sense of well-being, trying to better themselves in the pillars that I was explaining to you. People who are looking for cultural enrichment, which you will definitely get here, and somebody who's looking for seclusion, seclusion on a private island with only 40 villas. So it really is going to be tailored for those kinds of people. And we're looking forward to getting your support. And we hope that we have really covered what you have been expecting from this presentation.
Thank you so much, Tracy and Eduardo, for the informative and beautiful presentation. That was awesome. Hopefully one day we'll all get to visit soon. But now, as promised, we'll open up the floor for any questions. Esther, do we have some questions that Eduardo and Tracy could answer for the group?
Yes, we do. We have a question from Stacy at SML Journeys asking if you will create any meal inclusive packages, and is there any other option for dining that is not inside the property itself?
Tracy, I'll answer that if I may.
Sure.
Yes, we will have all of our rates will be bed and breakfast, but we will offer a half board package and a full board package as well. The reason why we are not offering an all-inclusive package is we have so much to offer in terms of experiences that we need to allow the guests to curate their own vacation while they're on the island. So that answers the first question. The second question is no, we do not have other restaurants or other eating facilities because it is a private island and it just has the F&B facilities that we have on the island.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Another question this time is from Kim. He would like to know what is the best season to visit and what is weather like over there? And also, what is the ideal length of stay that you recommend?
Tracy, we've spoken about that. Do you want to take that one?
I'll take this one. Hi, Kim. Basically, you're on a tropical island in a tropical, close to the Tropic of Capricorn. So year round, your temperatures are going to range from about 26 to 33 degrees. There are going to be rainy seasons, and rainy seasons are December, January, February, and March. But it doesn't rain every day in those months. I think it's 15 days maximum in one of those months that it'll be raining. So the best time of the year is probably June to October, which would be in the Southern Hemisphere winter, but in the tropics close to the equator, it's perfect in terms of temperature. Now, why this is also very great is when you want to send somebody to safari in Africa, you want them to go in winter, because when you're doing a winter safari, there is the fauna and the flora is gone. So you get very good sightings of the animals, because everything is dead in terms of the trees, and that the trees have all died for the season. So then that would be perfect, because then you'd be taking them over to Mozambique, to Ilha Caldeira, where it'll be back to being a beautiful warm temperature, and they can do or their marine safari if you would like to, sell it like that. So we don't have, also what's good to know about the temperature is Madagascar, the very big island Madagascar, protects Ilha Caldeira really nicely. So when there are the monsoon seasons, which you would get in those areas, we are very protected, because the monsoons would hit Madagascar and they would take all the monsoons in terms of the winds and everything that comes. So we are pretty sheltered from that perspective. Does that answer your question, Kim?
Yes, just to clarify. So you were saying you want to combine it when the weather's right in the safari camps, and with the best time in Mozambique, which is in summer, our summer.
No, not at all. What I'm saying is, anytime you want to go to Mozambique, you're going to have warm weather, because the weather temperature is between, I speak in degrees, it's 26 to 33 degrees. So year round, you're going to have fantastic temperature. But if you're going to combine it with the South African trip generally, or a Kenyan trip, or Zimbabwe or whatever, safaring in Africa is always best in wintertime in Africa, because the game viewing is best that time of the year, because the trees and everything have fallen. So your game viewing experience is always better. So, but to come to us, if you're coming to the island in general, any time of the year is going to be great, because it's hot all year round. But what I'm saying is, if you're doing it in conjunction with an African safari experience, normally you would send them during a winter time, because that's the best time to view game in Africa.
I see. Okay. And your winter is our summer, so it's just like
July. It's opposite.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, good. Sounds great.
Thank you. And to close the round of questions, what is the ideal length of stay?
Oh, I forgot about that. I would say minimum 5 days. I'd say 5 days to 7 days stay would be on the island.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Tracy and Eduardo.
But we do not have a minimum length of stay.
Yes.
So, if someone wants to stay for one night, they are welcome to. But for the experience, I find that when I travel, it takes me 2 days to chill out, to get in tune with the destination I've just arrived at. So I would strongly recommend that people that do make the effort to go there, they will only start enjoying the experience probably 2 days into their vacation, because that's what happens with me.
Sure, me too. How about a visa requirement? Is there any visa requirement like there was in South Africa?
There is, but the visa requirement is taken care at the airport. And what we are doing, Kim, is because we have a butler service, it's all going to be seamless. The guests will arrive at the international airports in Nampula. Before they get onto the charter to go to the island, the butler will greet them, take them through, take them into a lounge, give them something to drink, a glass of bubbly, or if the non-alcoholic drink is something else. And we will take care of the visa for them. And the visa, there is a cost, but the cost will be taken care by us.
Good, thanks. Good to know that.
Perfect.
No, it's important. It's very important. It's very important because it's sometimes language is a problem. So to have someone take care of this for the guests, I think is fundamental.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Looks beautiful. Wow, can't wait.
Great, thank you all. If there's no other questions, Tracy, do you want to tell us a little bit about the giveaway?
Yes, so we're very excited to say we would like to offer the first person to give us a confirmed booking, could be a one-night stay, but ideally we would love it to be a 7-night stay, will receive for themselves a 2-night stay for 2 people on the island themselves on a fully inclusive basis. Well, when I say fully, a full board basis.
Fantastic. Thank you. Wonderful. So the details of that giveaway, along with the recorded presentation today and any other additional collateral, will be provided to you all in a follow-up email. And if there's no other questions, I just like to say for myself, my Reimagine team, and our friends at Banyan Tree Ilha Caldeira, we can't thank you all enough for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us and learn a little bit more about this amazing property. If myself or anyone from the Reimagine team can ever assist you and your clients in travels, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you. And thank you all. We hope you had a wonderful day enjoying the beautiful Ilha Caldeira with us in Mozambique. And we hope to see you all soon. Safe travels. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tracy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you.
Tracy.
Thank you, Kim. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.